So, and going back to your point, so when I went to the church the first time, I ran out of that church.
Mm-hmm.
Devil didn't like
But
that.
who was there waiting for you though?
Katia, Sister Prince. But still, it's like I knew that I had to be there, but at the same time,
You were battling.
yeah, that's the thing.
It
Yeah,
was a war.
it was a war because it's like the devil. See, the devil gives you things, but God give you things as well. God give you peace, joy, love, happiness. The devil's like, hey, I could give you, man. Look, you
His
can have
stuff
all
is
of this.
temporary.
You can have all of this, yeah. And I didn't share the part where God really got my attention because there's a point that I got real sick. I didn't share that part even before I got to the church. So the devil knew that I was going to make a transition. And I was on the verge. I went to a hospital, Adney, and I ended up getting real sick. And then that's when I asked God, I said, God, you spoke to me. I said, what do you want from me?
He wanted your life.
I didn't share that part. That was when I was going through my whole 3-week thing. And it was a dude that sent me a text and he was like, give your life to Jesus Christ. I didn't hear from him in a while. This dude, I had his number, but I haven't spoke to him, heard from him in a while. He sent me a random text. Give your life to Jesus Christ. I'm like, what? All this stuff is happening in the span of 3 weeks.
Because God is saying,
yeah,
give your life to my son.
I was connecting the dots. So that's why when I went to church the first week, you're right. I was battling. I was just battling because I was battling with the world and God. I don't want to give this up. Yeah, I didn't want to give this. Yeah. Yeah. So I left the first week. So the second week I went there again. I said, okay, God, I know this is a word. I know you want me to do something, but I'm still trying to figure things out. Again, Brother Daniels, as he always does with the Holy Spirit, preached a dynamic, powerful word. And then I was like moved by it. And I felt the need to go up that second week. And I just didn't. Because
now that's the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
Pushing you.
Yeah.
Let me say, because we get the Holy Spirit in baptism. That's your spirit.
Right.
Because your spirit is saying, okay, since you in the flesh, let me take over.
Right.
Because I'm ready to be with my dad.
Right.
And Willie said something so powerful in the sermon. He said the reason God didn't allow Moses to see his face is because of the spirit that's in him. That spirit longs for God. So if God would have showed Moses his face, the spirit would have left him and went back to God. Right? Wow. So your spirit is longing for God at this time.
Right.
And your flesh is saying, nah, we can't do it. But the spirit is saying, we got to go.
Yeah. I want people to understand too, I dealt with even alcoholism, fornication, just cussing up a storm, just negative thoughts. All this stuff is going on with me. Yeah. So I'm like I said, like you said, I'm battling. Like in my mind, I'm saying, okay, if I give my life to the Lord, that means I got to give all that stuff up. Because you know how some people say, oh, I got to wait till I get 100 years old. I'm already messed up. Let me wait till I get 100 years old. That's why I always tell them, nah, dude, you'll never be 100.
You'll never be 100.
So that's what happened. I'm battling. So the second week, I'm like, I heard a word, powerful word, by the way. I went home. I'm like, man. And then boom, I ran into one of our dear brothers. He like, well, prior to that, I ran into my dear brother. Cause like I said, all this stuff was happening in the span of weeks. And he like, man, what you up to? I said, man, I'm into the Lord. So God was connecting me with people that was following, like trying to follow him. And I had other friends that bashed me, say, man, Nick losing his mind. And other friends was like, man, leave Nick alone. He doing the right thing. So I'm even battling within in my home community. Keep in mind, I used to hang around with these dudes.
But think about it. Satan never wants to lose because what people don't realize, eternal damnation was never created for us. It was created for the enemy and the angels that followed the enemy. The thing with Satan is, I want to take as many of you with me as possible, just so I could throw it in God's face, right? Because if we don't obey God, where do we end up? In eternal damnation.